So today basically we are going to look at the key mechanisms of mobile IP. Okay. So some of these things we had discussed yesterday briefly. Some of it will be new to you. Okay. It's a very important question for you for your exam. Okay. Key mechanisms of mobile IP. So it comes for 8 marks or 10 marks, this question. Okay. So please pay attention and you can ask me any doubts at the end of it. Okay. So basically mobile IP is associated with three key mechanisms. The first mechanism is discovering the care of address. The second is after you have found a care of address, the mobile node has found a care of address. The second mechanism is registering the care of address. Okay. So registering is done at the between the once you have found a care of address, you have to register it with your home agent. And the third key mechanism on which your mobile IP is based is tunneling to the care of address. Like we had discussed yesterday, the correspondent node only knows the original IP address of the mobile node and it keeps sending the packets through the home agent to the original address. Okay. So it never knows if the mobile node has moved around, gone to some other network. Okay. It is the job of the home agent to deliver the packets from the correspondent node to the mobile node, wherever it may be present. So if it is present in a foreign network, we saw yesterday, we discussed how the tunneling works. Okay. Today, little bit more in detail, we will look at all of these three methods. So can someone tell me, actually discovering the care of address, there's not much, nothing new is there to discuss. We had discussed this yesterday. Can someone quickly tell me how we discover the care of address? When a mobile node goes to a foreign network, what basically happens? What are the different ways of discovering the care of address? Nargis, would you like to try? How is the care of address discovered? What is the first method for agent discovery? Nargis, are you there? Yes, students, I want you all to reply back. Yeah, Prathamesh. So there are two ways of discovering the agent once the mobile node has gone to a foreign network. So first one is agent advertisement, or the second one is agent solicitation. Okay. So there are two ways. Okay. So basically this is the schematic model of your mobile IP. Okay. Your agent discovery is done using the ICMP protocol. Okay. ICMP stands for Internet Control Message Protocol. And your agent, the registration of the care of address is done using the UDP protocol. Okay. And tunneling happens directly. So all this is based on your IP protocol. Okay. So all these are part of your IP protocol. So just remember that your agent discovery is done using ICMP messages and registration of the care of address is done using UDP. I would like you all to find out, okay, this, why is the registration of care of address done using UDP, okay, and why is agent discovery done using ICMP? You'll have to search a little on the internet. You won't get direct answer. You have to look at the features of these two protocols. Okay. Then I don't think you will get a direct answer. You look at the features of these protocols. Why most likely these protocols have been selected for this purpose. Okay. So it's just the homework for all of you. search these answers and keep. Okay. So just remember this, the schematic model of mobile AP. And now we are discovering how this agent discovery is done. So we had discussed it yesterday and we are repeating it again today. So basically what we had said was there are two methods for discovering the agent: agent advertisement, agent solicitation. Like I told you today, this is done using ICMP protocol. Okay, so ICMP packets are exchanged. Okay, so agent advertisement, in agent advertisement we have discussed that each agent sends periodic messages, and these messages contain one or more care of addresses and a flag, and the flag will indicate whether the agent is a home agent or a foreign agent. Okay, so this is the way the agent advertisement method works. The other method is, suppose the mobile node has not got any message from the agent, then it can start searching for an agent on its own. Okay, so how it does, it can send 3 messages. Okay, 1 per second. So it sends 3 solicitation messages, but it can send only 1 per second. So this is done in order to prevent flooding of the network. Okay, so this is basically how you discover a agent, a foreign agent, most of the times, or sometimes you may also want to discover a home agent. The next key mechanism is registering the care of address. Okay, so first, like we had said, there is 3 steps of it. So first you are discovering the care of address. After you have found the care of address, you have to register the care of address. Okay, now you're going to register the care of address with the home agent. Okay, so now we look at the steps of registering the care of address with the home agent. So basically these are the steps of registering the care of address. This is an important diagram, you have to know it properly. Okay, so basically there are 5 steps to register the care of address with the home agent. Okay, so let's understand it just with a diagram. Before I show you the registering, I just would want to revise the packet delivery diagram. So packet delivery diagram, I'll put it here. I want someone to just explain me the packet delivery diagram before we proceed. Because this diagram is very important to understand that. Okay, Leroy, can you try to explain the packet delivery diagram? How the packet delivery diagram works when a mobile node moves to a foreign network. Students, if you're not going to respond when you come offline, I'm going to ask you more questions. Okay, online, if you're not responding, I'm every day I'm asking some students, I don't know, you are having a network problem, then you should tell me. Or I see the moment I start asking questions, people are leaving the meeting. Okay, so I mean, those people I will ask more questions than offline. Yeah, can you just tell me the process, like, so so when the MN comes here, it will do the okay, I'll ask you specific questions, you just let me know. Okay, everyone can type, actually, not only Leroy. So the MN comes to the foreign network. Okay, it does agent discovery. For agent discovery, there are 2 methods which we already discussed. Okay, through that it finds the care of address. What is the meaning of care of address? What do you understand by care of address? You can type in the chat box. What do you understand by care of address? Yes, correct, Prathamesh. It's the temporary address which is assigned to the mobile node in a foreign network. Okay. Now, once the temporary address has been assigned, why you need to register this care of address with the home agent? What happens if you don't register the care of address with the home agent? What happens, listen to my question, what happens if you do not register the care of address with the home agent? Or why you need to register the care of address with the home agent? Packets can be lost. Correct. Packets can be lost. So Gauri, can you tell me how packets will be lost? Why is Prathamesh, Leroy is telling packets will be lost? You can unmute yourselves and talk. So if we are not, yeah,
So,
yeah,
since the mobile node has moved to the foreign network, uh, the CN won't know that it has moved to a foreign network. So, uh, uh, it needs that
yeah, where the CN will be sending the address is address to which network?
home agent.
Yeah, it will be sending the address to the home network. No, here it will be through the home agent. The
Yeah,
packets
yeah.
will be sent to the home network.
Home network.
So yes, correct. Yeah, you can mute yourself, Gauri. So that's why CN only knows this address of the home network. Okay, that it knows that mobile node was supposed to be here. So it will keep sending the packets through the home agent to the home network. So it does not know that foreign mobile node has gone to a foreign network. So that's why the mobile node has to go to a foreign network, find one temporary address. Once it finds this temporary address, it has to inform the home agent about the temporary address. So once it informs the home agent about the temporary address, any packets being sent by this CN to the home agent will be diverted and sent to the foreign network. Okay, through the foreign agent, and it will be delivered to the mobile node. Okay, so that's why registering the care of address is very important. Remember, such questions are very important. They'll be asked for you during Viva. You're having a Viva. Okay, so now that you have we have revised this thing, let's go and see the actual. Now we are saying this has to be registered. COA has to be registered with home agent. Okay, we are just saying it. So there are some steps involved. Actually, there are 5 steps involved in it. So we are going to look at it in detail. Okay, how you register the COA with the home agent. Okay, let's look at it in detail. Understood? Before I proceed, everyone has understood why we need to register the COA with the home agent? I can repeat it if you have not understood. Please let me know. Anyone? Okay. So let's look at the actual steps of registering the COA with the home agent. So this is the diagram for registering the care of address. Now the mobile node has already obtained the care of address. Okay, that was done from using the agent discovery process. During the agent discovery process, using one of these 2 methods, it has obtained the care of address. After obtaining the care of address, the second step for the mobile node is register the care of address with the home agent. Okay, so how it works is, the first step is the mobile node, okay, will send, it is gone now to a foreign network. Okay, so it is in a foreign network, so it has to register itself with a foreign agent. Okay, so it sends this message, it sends a registration request message. Okay, it sends a registration request message, and this contains 2 addresses. Okay, one is the permanent IP address of the mobile node. Okay, permanent IP address of the mobile node, and second is the IP address of the home agent. Okay, so remember when the mobile node was in the home network, it was serviced by some home agent. So it will send the IP address of the home agent, its own home agent, and its own IP address. So these two IP addresses are sent along with the registration request. Okay, so this is step 1. So this registration request is sent to the foreign agent. Okay, so once the foreign agent gets this registration request, it continues the registration process on behalf of the mobile node. Okay, now the foreign agent will complete the process of the registration, okay, of the care of address. So what the foreign agent does is it forwards this registration request that it got, okay, to the home agent. Okay, but it changes the IP addresses. So in this registration request in step 2, now it will contain IP address of the mobile node and IP address of the foreign agent. Okay, so it sends a new registration request to the home agent, so containing IP address of the mobile node and IP address of the foreign agent. Okay, so this request is sent to the home agent. Clear? In the third step, the home agent gets this request. Okay, and now it will update. It has one routing table, so it updates that routing table by associating the care of address. Okay, it associates the care of address with the mobile node. So in the third step, what it does, after it gets the registration request, the home agent will associate the care of address with the mobile node's home address. Okay, so basically it updates its routing table. Once it does that, in step 4, it sends an acknowledgement to the foreign agent. So in step 4, it will send a acknowledgement. So it had got a request, so it replies to that request with a acknowledgement. Okay, and in the fifth step, the foreign agent now updates its table. Okay, it updates its table known as a visitors list and makes an entry for the mobile node. Okay, and then once it makes an entry for the mobile node, it acknowledges the request of the mobile node. So it sends a acknowledgement to the request of the mobile node. Okay, so I'll repeat this process. Now in the prior to this process, the mobile node has already obtained a care of address. So after obtaining care of address, now it is trying to register the care of address with the home agent. Okay, so for that what it does, it sends a registration request message. The mobile node sends a registration request message to the foreign agent. So what this contains, IP address of the mobile node and IP address of the home agent. Okay, so the foreign agent continues that process then of registration. So it forwards a new registration request message. This message now contains IP address of the mobile node and the IP address of the foreign agent. So when the home agent gets this request, it updates its table. It binds the care of address with the home address of the mobile node. Okay, binds it. So basically updates its routing table. Once it updates, in the fourth step, it acknowledges the request that it had got in step 2. Okay, so then once the foreign agent gets the acknowledgement, it updates the visitors list table and makes an entry for the mobile node. And once this is done, it acknowledges the request of the mobile node. So that is step 5. Clear? So this is how basically you register, the mobile node registers the care of address with the home agent. Is it okay? So now if anyone has any doubt, you can let me know. I'll look at your chat box. Anyone has not understood how this process works? Registering the care of address. Are you all clear? So you can just read this. I've explained all of this. Any doubts about it? Clear, everyone? Okay.
Sir, hello, sir.
Yeah. Yes.
So at step 3, the acknowledgement goes from the home agent to the foreign agent after associating the care of address.
Step 3. Home. Yeah. Step 3. No. Step 3 is about updating the routing table. In
Okay.
step 3, the home agent updates its routing table. Okay. Based on the request that it got. Okay. So it updates. It makes a link between that. In its table, it is having the original address. No. So that original address, it links with the temporary address, the care of address. So it basically binds the care of address with the original address of the mobile node. That is step 3.
Okay. And at step 4, the acknowledgement.
Yeah, step 4, then the home agent will send an acknowledgement saying that it has done the binding, and then based on that, in step 5, the foreign agent will update the visitors list table, makes an entry for the mobile node. Okay. So after it makes an entry for the mobile node in its table, then it sends the acknowledgement in to the mobile node saying that the registration has been completed.
Okay, sir.
So any other doubts? Okay, then we'll go to the next question. That is next mechanism. So we have seen two key mechanisms of your IP, mobile IP. First was discovering the care of address. Second is registering the care of address. And in the third step, now once it has been done, the third step, the most important step is tunneling to the care of address. Okay. So in tunneling also we have discussed this. Basically, what we were telling is uh, for tunneling, there are two things that are involved in tunneling. One is encapsulation and one is decapsulation. Okay. So we'll just revise that part from the diagram and then come here again. Okay. And then I will explain you all of this again. So before we go to the diagram and understand that, you just read these 4-5 points that are put here, and then we'll just revise that thing and come back here. Just read these 5 steps. By reading these 5 steps, if you understand, good. If you don't understand, then I will explain. Okay, have you read it? So students, I know I'm repeating some things repeatedly, but that is so that you become clear with these things and you remember this. Okay, so to understand that what was written in the slides, CN, imagine that your CN only knows this address of the MN in the home network. Okay, it knows only the address of the MN in the home network. So when it makes a data packet, it puts the source address. It will put the source address as CN. Okay, it puts the source address of the IP address of the CN. Okay, and destination address, it will put of the MN, the IP address of the MN. Now this IP address, it assumes is here. Okay, it assumes that MN is present here, and it puts this basically along with the other fields, and it forwards this packet. So source address is the IP address of the CN, and destination is the IP address of the home network or the home agent, or basically the mobile node here. Okay, and it sends the packet to the router. The router forwards it to the internet to the home agent. Okay, now we know this already. If the MN is present here, the packet will be delivered here. But if MN is not present here, then the packet has to be delivered to the foreign network. So once the home agent gets this packet, okay, it has already having source address SCN, and destination is mentioned as MN. So when I say this, it is basically I mean the IP addresses. Okay. So when the MN is not present here, you have already seen how COA and all is obtained. So what the home agent does, it encapsulates this packet. Okay. It puts another header, another IP header. Okay. So in that new IP header, it puts new source address. The source address now will be the home agent IP address. Home agent, because now home agent is forwarding the packet, and destination will be the care of address. Destination will be the care of address. So it puts this process of putting a new header, okay, new IP header. This process is known as encapsulation. Please remember why we call it as encapsulation, because the original packet had come with source address as IP address of CN, destination address as IP address of MN. Since MN was not present here, the packet has to be diverted to the foreign network, or it has to be rerouted to the foreign network. So for that purpose, the home agent adds a new IP header. So adding of a new IP header, that process is known as encapsulation. In that new IP header, it puts source address now. Why it's changing the source address? The home agent is now sending the packet. Okay. So source address now is put as the IP address of the home agent. And where it has to go now, the diverted packet or the rerouted packet now has to go to the COA. So the destination address is put as COA. And the packet is now sent to the foreign agent. When the foreign agent gets this encapsulated packet, okay, so when you're sending it, you make a tunnel, a virtual path. You're tunneling the packet, okay, sending directly between the home agent and the foreign agent by establishing a virtual path between these two. So that path is known as a tunnel. So this process is known therefore as tunneling, okay. So you're sending the encapsulated packet to the foreign agent. When the foreign agent gets this encapsulated packet, it will decapsulate it. So by decapsulating, we mean we remove this additional header that was put. Additional header is this source address as home agent, destination as COA. So we remove that additional header. Okay, remove this additional header. When you remove that additional header, the foreign agent now only has that original packet which was sent by the CN. Okay, this original packet is then forwarded by this foreign agent to the mobile node. So this is how the process works. Okay, so now I'll show you how that works in that IP packet format. Okay, because you studied in your previous subject computer networks the packet format in for IP. So we'll see this what I exactly told you in that. Okay, that's why I explained this you all of this here, so where you can relate it there. Okay, so just look at it now here. Let me rub off this thing. Okay, so basically in tunneling what we are doing, the home agent has received a packet address to the mobile host. Okay, so once it has got a packet, it forwards the packet to the care of address. Okay, so how it forwards? Doing encapsulation. So it had got one IP packet from the CN, it puts its own header. Okay, it puts its own header, IP header. Therefore, we call it as IP within IP encapsulation. So it had received one IP packet, and for that IP packet, it puts its own header. Okay, so this is what I told you. It inserts its own IP header in front of the IP header that it has received. Okay, destination address is set to the care of address. Source address is the home agent's address. Then at a foreign agent, it strips out this header, additional header that is put, and the original packet is sent forward to the mobile node. Okay. Now in the packet format, it looks like this. You may remember this IP packet format. Okay. So when CN is sending the, you can look at this entire thing and tell me where is the original packet address, and original destination address. Where is it within this diagram? It's pretty clear. Okay, it is here. So when the CN is sending, the packet, it puts the source address here of the CN, and destination address of the mobile node it puts here. Okay, and rest of the fields are all you must be knowing. We are not, that you have studied in your computer networks. Okay, so I'm not going through that. We don't need it here. So once the home agent gets this packet, this much portion, okay, it gets this packet. This is what every time I say the original packet. When I refer to the original packet, this is what your home agent receives, this much. Okay, what I highlighted. Then when it finds that the mobile node is not present in the home network but is present in the foreign network, that means this packet that it received has to be now rerouted. It has to be sent to the care of address. So what it does, it puts a new header. Okay, this is the new header that it puts till here. Okay, so it puts this new header, and now the source address is the address of the home agent, destination address is the address of the care of address, and all these things are calculated, checksum and all flags, version and all that, and it's encapsulated. This process of putting an additional header is known as encapsulation. Okay, so you put this additional header, and this packet, whole thing, is now sent to the foreign agent. Okay, so what foreign agent does, it removes this part, decapsulates the packet. Okay, and the original packet, which was this portion, it forwards to the mobile node. Okay, so we are encapsulating one IP packet within another IP packet. Therefore, this type of encapsulation is known as IP within IP encapsulation. Is it okay? Clear? Okay. Are you getting it? What I'm trying to tell you? Any doubts? Yes, students, did you get what I told you about with respect to encapsulation, how IP within IP encapsulation works? Does anyone want me to repeat it? Any doubts? So this entire process of encapsulating, sending the packet to the foreign agent and decapsulating, so that all is happening within the tunneling. Tunneling means sending the encapsulated packet to the care of address. So basically the packet is being sent from the home agent to the foreign agent, okay, through a virtual path. Repeat the tunneling with the IP packet format. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Okay. So I think to make you understand, should I draw, do you want me to draw that IP packet delivery diagram here? Do you want me to repeat, draw that diagram here so that you understand what is happening, or is it okay if I directly repeat this thing? What do you want me to repeat here?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
So draw the diagram.
Draw the
This will
diagram.
better
Okay.
to understand.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
draw the
Yeah.
diagram.
Okay, I'll draw the diagram here. It becomes a bit difficult on online to teach this, but okay. Okay, without trying to, this thing is, okay, so there's a CN somewhere here. Okay, CN is there. There's a router. This is the router. There is the internet. Okay, then there's the home agent. There is your home network. Okay, now if mobile node, I'll tell you what happens if mobile node is, no, since we are talking about tunneling, I'll not confuse you. Let's talk only about tunneling. Okay, so there's the internet here. There's a foreign agent and there's a foreign network. In the foreign network, there is your mobile node. Okay, this is what your diagram is. So in your foreign agent, your MN has already obtained the care of address. Okay, so now CN does not know about a care of address. It knows only the original address of the mobile node. Okay, so it always will send with the original address. So when CN has a data packet to send, actually the data packet format is this. Okay, this is the data packet format, this thing that I'm highlighting right now. This is the IP packet format, okay, that you have studied in computer networks. There's a version number, then all these things are there. Okay, so what I am explaining with respect to always is this, the source address and the destination address. Okay, because this is what is applicable for me to explain. Rest of the fields, if you are interested, you can go to your previous subjects notebook and you will understand what it is. Okay, and this payload means the data that is being sent. Okay, this is the data. So basically when I draw this packet like this is what it is actually. Okay, this entire thing that I've just highlighted. So originally your CN, the source address is put as the address of the CN. Okay, it makes a data packet. So source address is the CN's address, the CN's address. Okay, destination address is the mobile node's address. The mobile node, CN knows only the original address of the mobile node, so it puts that original address of the mobile node. It does not know where the mobile node is present. Okay, it has some data to send. It has some data to send, which is known as the payload, and it is sending the data. Okay, based on the data, all these things are calculated, checksum, flags, and all those things. Okay, we are not bothered about it. So we'll just this packet now. This packet that the CN has made here, that I'm showing you here, okay, is then forwarded to its router. Okay, then that router forwards it over the internet. It forwards it over the internet to the home agent here, to the home agent. The home agent now has got this packet. Okay, it has got this packet that was sent by CN. So it contains the source address of IP address of the CN, IP address of the MN, and the data. Okay. Now the home agent checks in the home network. It checks once it gets this packet. It checks here whether MN is present. Okay, but MN is not present here. Is not present here. So what home agent does? Home agent has to send the packet, this packet that it received, okay, this packet that it has received to the care of address. So when it has to send this packet to the care of address, it adds a new header. So in the new header, it adds another source address. This is the source address it adds. Okay. So now the source address will be the IP address of the home agent. So it puts IP address of the home agent. Okay. So for this packet, it's putting another header now. It's putting source address now as the home agent's address. Okay. Where the packet has to be sent now? It has to be sent to the COA. So it puts the destination as the IP address of the COA. So this is the destination, IP address of the COA. And along with that, there are these other fields, version, IHL, service, and all these things. Okay, that is the IP packet format, checksum, and all these things. Okay, and it puts this header and the payload now. See here, you have seen, no? This is the payload. So for this thing, this is the header part. This is the header part. What is the payload part? This entire thing will be the payload. Okay. So basically what you're doing, you just think of it. The CN is sending one small envelope. Okay. The CN is sending one small envelope to the home agent. Home agent now has to forward this packet. Okay. And it has to tell that home agent is the one who's forwarding. So it takes another bigger packet. Okay. And takes the smaller packet it has received from the CN, puts it inside a bigger packet, and on the bigger packet now it is writing, okay, where is the destination and who is sending it. Okay, think of your paper envelopes when I'm saying paper envelopes. So the CN is sending a small paper envelope, and when the small paper envelope is received by the home agent, it takes that small envelope and puts it inside one bigger envelope. Okay, that process is known as encapsulation. So in that encapsulation, what happens? The smaller packet now is the data. Okay, the entire smaller packet that is received is the data part. Are you getting? That is the payload. I hope you are trying to, or I mean, I can't make out if you are understanding or not. I can try to tell you this offline if you are not getting what I'm trying to tell you. And once this is done, okay, it sends, it makes a virtual path like this. This virtual path is known as a tunnel. And through this tunnel, this packet now is sent, okay, having the additional header. The additional header is containing all these things that are shown here, all these things. Okay, that is not the part of the original data, but original data is only here. What I am highlighting now in yellow, you can't see, green. So this was your original packet, what I am highlighting in green. Okay, so it adds all that additional things. These are the additional things. So this adding of these additional things is known as encapsulation. Okay, so once it adds these additional things, encapsulated packet is sent to this foreign agent. So what foreign agent does? It removes these things. It removes all this part. Okay, I'm just cancelling this part. So this is known as decapsulation. It gets the original packet back. Once it gets the original packet back, it forwards the original packet to the mobile node. So is it okay now? Are you getting an idea of what is happening? Okay, it's quite difficult to explain within one screen with the diagram. So if you're not getting it, then on the board is quite big. I can draw the diagram separately and explain. Here it is like congested. Is it okay now? Yes. Because the outer packet is stripped, the inner packet has only the address of the CN and the MN. So when this packet, that's how the MN is able to reply to the CN. Yesterday someone was asking, no? It is because the outer packet has been stripped. The inner packet only contains the original address of the CN and the destination as address as the address of the MN. So when the MN wants to reply, it takes the address of the CN and replies. Yes, MN has same IP address even in FA. Yes. That's why it is obtaining a temporary address known as the COA. And the COA and that binding is done by in the registration process, like I explained you here in this diagram. Once this home agent has updated its table, then the foreign agent updates its table. Okay, it links the COA with the mobile node. Here in this step that I was explaining you, here the linking is done, where an entry is made for the mobile node in the visitors list table. That linking is done here. Mobile node's IP address remains the same. It does not change. That's the whole purpose of mobile IP. Okay, the mobile node gets to keep its IP address. That is not possible in your fixed networks. Okay, that is what I was trying to explain you in that first lecture when I was introducing you IP. In your fixed networks, your computer is at a fixed location. It is having the same IP address, the computer. Okay, so if you move the computer to some other place and you connect it to a fixed network, it will get a new IP address. Okay, it will not be able to keep its same IP address. Whereas your mobile device, you can keep moving around, but it will maintain its IP address. Okay, that is because of this entire process of packet delivery that we have just studied all these days. So because of this entire process, wherein the mobile node goes to a foreign network and obtains a temporary address, because of that, the mobile node is able to keep its original address. Okay, is it clear now? Everything that we have been speaking about for last 2-3 lectures. That's why I've been repeating certain things repeatedly so that it gets into your heads. So I hope most of you are understanding what is being told. If you are not understanding, you can please ask me during the practical time or during your offline lecture. The whole purpose of having offline lecture is to make you understand certain things that you may have. Some of you have network problems because of which you miss the explanation. That is the purpose of offline. You can always ask me during offline. Okay, don't mind repeating certain things again and again. So any doubts about these 3 mechanisms? Today we have studied 3 mechanisms: discovering the care of address, registering the care of address, and tunneling to the care of address. So all this, it comes under the key mechanism. The topic is key mechanisms of mobile IP. Very important question. You may get one single question on this. Explain the key mechanism of mobile IP. And in brief, you have to explain all of this, or you may get separate questions on each of this. Okay. Again, you may get this for 8 marks or 5 marks. Each of this has separate questions. Then you have to be able to explain all of this that I have just explained you today. So this is known as IP within IP because you are encapsulating one packet within the other packet. Okay. So I hope you have been able to identify this. I have been trying to make you identify this, that how you have encapsulated one packet within another packet. Okay. This, without looking at this part, don't wait, I'll just show you. Without looking at this part here, see, the original packet that is being sent by your CN is only this much. Okay. The original packet does not have all of this. Your IP packet format, you can check on your CN notebook. Your IP packet format is only this much. Okay. This is the original packet that is being sent by your CN. Okay. So it puts this much and sends. So here, this is the CN address. This is the MN's address. Wherever is the original address of the MN in the home network. Okay. And this is the data. This is the data. So when the home agent gets this packet, if it finds that a MN is not present in the home network, then this entire packet becomes the payload. This thing, the entire packet becomes the payload. Okay, payload. This becomes the data part for the new packet. Okay, and to this packet, your home agent puts now this part. This is the header part. Okay, so it puts this header part, and the header part is what I'll just rub off and show you now. This is your header part now. This is the header it puts. Okay. Puts this. So within that, this is now the new source address is the address of the home agent. Destination address is the address of the care of address. So this is the header it puts. This is the header. And this part is now, if you look at the header part here, it is not having the data part. So this part here, this entire thing, the original packet becomes the data packet, the data part. Okay. So this entire thing is sent to the foreign agent, and this thing is known now as encapsulation. So this is one IP packet. This is IP packet now. This entire thing I'll highlight. This is one IP packet, green color thing. Okay. Within that, you are having another IP packet. This is another IP packet. That's why we are calling it as IP within IP. Okay. So when you send this entire thing, the foreign agent removes this additional part that you have put. Removes this. Is known as decapsulation. Okay. It removes this. Once it removes that, it gets the original packet. Once it gets the original packet, forwards it to the mobile node. And that's how the thing works. Okay. And stripping this original packet from the encapsulation is known as decapsulation, removing the header. So when you remove this header, that is known as decapsulation. So I hope I have been able to make myself clear. Yeah, students? Okay. So I'll stop the recording.